What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, man? What's up, y'all? What's going on? What's goings on? This is your boy, Sub Zero 3639, right back at your ass one more time for your mind. Um, I got this situation. I ain't gonna say a situation. I actually, I always come on here and espouse stuff and say stuff. Sometimes I don't back it up, right? And so I'm about to share some information with you guys just to show you that what I'm talking about when I talk about racism being the cover for a lot of mediocrity on our parts. I think this is a direct indicator of it. I don't think you can get around this. What you doing, little boy? I don't think you can get around this. I think this is something that is really go back in there, Book. I'll be in there in a second. Go back in there. So I think this is something that we really won't be able to get away from. So what I'm about to do, guys, is read you an article from PBS.org, which is pretty much most publications are liberal. I'm not even going to say they're liberal or conservative. I'm just going. This is a black woman who wrote this article, who's in the media, who's probably super hyper Democrat, but she's giving you the real facts and data about the black community, right? And so her name is Kenya Downs, and she wrote this article. I'm just going to give you guys a small snippet of what she was talking about because the article was written February 9th, 2016. She says more African American. Well, first of all, the title of the article: African Americans overrepresented among low-paying college majors. Right. So let's get into the actual data and facts about black people saying that we go to college and the system is designed and da 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 da. Let's look at what we do when we go to college. Let's see what we do when we go. Because just going to college, everybody isn't getting the same degrees. Everybody doesn't have the same major. And there's a difference between majoring in humanities and computer engineering. So we're going to get into that. Okay. So right here, first it says more African Americans are going to college than ever before. But according to new research from the Center of Education and the Workforce at Georgetown University, African American college students. What is this? Huh, boy? You've been eating all day. Huh? All day. Yeah, that's what you've been doing. Eating and growing. That's all you do. Eat and sleep. Go ahead. All right. African American college students are more likely to pursue majors that lead to low paying jobs, setting up many for future debt and underemployment, right? Which is what we talk about. And we'll blame that on racism, but I'm just going to show you why we wind up where we are a lot of times. It's not, and I'm not trying to say that racism isn't real, but this is just another me placing the facts in front of our faces to talk about certain issues. Okay. So it says, and over time, these occupational choices contribute to the wealth and opportunity gap between whites and blacks that spans generations. Quote, basically, African Americans have been trying to go to the right church, but sitting in the wrong pew. The director, Anthony Carnaval, said, in a way, they are using education to climb the social and economic ladder, but they're being steered towards majors that will make them low earners. Really? Let's keep going. Because African Americans make up only a small percentage of the highest paying majors, including those in STEM and business. There are only 8% of engineering, 7% of mathematics, and 5% of computer science majors. Worse, Cornwell even said those who do major in high paying fields typically choose the lowest paying major within them. I've been trying to tell y'all when it comes to computer science, we hop our ass out there and go into certain. Not that you can't make money in certain areas. You can make money in certain areas, but a lot of areas we'll get in that are low hanging fruits, easy, low barrier of entry areas, and you wind up doing help desk making $20 an hour. Let's keep going. For example, the majority of black women in STEM typically study biology, the lowest paying of the science disciplines. Among engineers, most black men study civil engineering, the lowest paying major in that sector. Now, I'm about to show you guys a diagram. And I'm just going, and I bet you guys like, he sound happy and gleeful. No, I'm not gleeful about this shit. This is our report card. And, when I used to come home with an F, my mom used to really, get in my ass. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just going and showing where we are. This is our F that we have. We're making Fs, and this is why we're making Fs. You know what I'm saying? And Lord knows I knew about making Fs. Straight up. So right here, what does it say? Occupations with the highest median earnings for African Americans by major. 66,000, architect, engineering, 61,000, 62 roughly. Computers, statistics, and mathematics. Health, obviously 60, right, we're about 62, and business is 51,000. So these are the higher paying ones. Um, Occupations with the lowest median earnings for African Americans by major. And look, industrial arts, consumer services and recreation, psychology and social work arts. So these are the psychology majors right here, 42,000. History, criminal justice, right? Let's keep going. Right? It says bachelor degrees refer to adults between the ages of 21 and 59 with a bachelor's degree but no graduate degree. So I mean, I ain't gonna keep reading the whole thing. So let's keep going, right? It says in contrast, black college students are overrepresented in service-oriented fields, really, humanities, education, and social work, shown in the chart below. So they finish show another chart, right? And it says one of the lowest paying majors common African Americans with bachelor's degree is early childhood education. And the median earnings for that is $38,000 annually compared to $65,000 for computer science, right? Carnival says that this is largely because African American society, now this is where he's wrong, overall does not value service oriented occupations. So I guess he's does saying it. They don't value that. But why do we major in service oriented occupations? So let's look at this. I'm not going to show you. You know what, Bump it. I'm going to show you all this too. It's always good to have information, man. Knowledge is power, guys. Knowledge is power. It's always good to know your facts. So when you talk about I'm being kept down by the man, a lot of times it's not the man. It's you making dumbass choices like this right here, right? Sorry if you got this degree. It was a bad decision. I'm sorry. Health and medical administration services, 21% of the overall. So almost 1 in 5 of people with health and administrative, that's it. We 1 in 5, 20% of the, what is that, human services and community organization. We 1 in 5 of that. Social work, we about 1 in 5 of that. Public administration, you know what I'm saying? Criminal justice and fire protection, sociology, and information systems. We are what is that? We make up 14% of the majors but it's the highest one on here, looks like. And we had 14 on that. Let's see. So let's see what else we got. Human resource and personnel management, 14% of that, right? Interdisciplinary social services, 13%. You can just about add up all these together as far as social services, and it'll just about dwarf. It will dwarf this little 14% you see right here. Pre-law and legal studies, 13%. You can throw that to the side, right? How many of us actually finish law school when we do go into those, even when I know a lot of pre-law majors that never finish. So let's keep going. It says another reason for the disparity is merely personal choices. What? Many service-oriented majors lead to careers that are vital to political and social movements in poor minority communities around the country. And the study indicates that African Americans who have strong community-based values enter into college majors that reflect those values. Despite comprising just 12% of the population, African Americans are 20% of all community organizers. Now, let me say this, guys. You know what? Before I do that, because see, this she didn't say she's saying something in this article, but she kind of dancing around. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go there in a second. Let me keep going. The center also points out that the majority of college educated African Americans earn their degrees from 2-year institutions or open 4-year Open admission 4-year colleges and universities. 70% of African Americans who graduate from college attend an open admission school. With few exceptions, these institutions not only have limited majors and course offerings, but lack the personnel. Let me scroll down a little bit. But lack the personnel and academic resources for consistent mentorship. Often, often the result is a black student being what Cornell calls risk adverse or shying away from the unfamiliar. I, damn, she can't. Let me go back right. Often, the result is a black student being what Cornell calls risk adverse or shying away from the unfamiliar. I'm gonna go back into that in a second. Over time, low-paying majors affect economic prosperity. There's a $4 million difference. Now check this out. Watch this now. There's a $4 million difference in the earnings between a 4-year degree in early childhood education and a petroleum engineering degree or whatever major over an entire career. Black students end up with less savings and disposable income paying for educations that landed them low paying jobs in the first place. Boy, let me, you know what? Let me copy that and put that in the chat for y'all. I'm gonna put that in the chat and I'm gonna put that on the screen. Put that in the chat. I'm gonna put that on the screen for y'all. I hope it's one thing. It said, we try this again. Control V. Why it won't let me do it? You rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. Control V. Do this. Let's do this. There we go. So I'm gonna put this over here. Over time, low-paying majors affect economic prosperity. There's a $4 million difference in earnings between a 4-year degree in early childhood education and petroleum engineering over an entire career. Black students end up with less savings and black students end up with less savings and disposable income for education that landed them low paying jobs in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going. It stifles African American middle class and contributes to the country's economic inequality. I think this is a major source for what black people think is working smart. Well, I'm doing smart. I'm going to college. This is why I don't value getting the education because if it doesn't work for you, a community college education will get you further in many cases, in most cases, for a black person than a 4-year degree if you are, should I say, math adverse instead of risk adverse. But let's keep going. Here she goes. She said, so what's the solution? The Center on Education and the Workforce recommends aggressive counseling of minority students early on, encouraging African Americans to develop careers in tech, business and STEM that incorporate elements of community service. Carnival points out that black businesses executives could still be a community advocate by providing jobs and small business loans. Good point. Good point. You can still help your community by providing jobs and small business loans. Good one. Says we don't want to say education is a bad thing for African Americans because it's not, Carnival says. On the other hand, to the extent that choices are limited and experiences are limited, the pursuit of the real passion behind the real passion needs to be informed. Chasing your dreams shouldn't turn into a nightmare, which is exactly what it does for a lot of black people. So that's the entire article, guys. Now I'm about to bring you my good old fashioned favorite metric that I love to get into. Y'all know what it is. I'm gonna blow it up a little bit for y'all, and then let's see if I can find. Let's see if I can go down. Here it is. So I'm gonna blow this metric up for y'all. I'm gonna share my screen again. Now this is the Brookings Institute thing I always talk about, but this is why black people tend to be stuck a lot of times in the situations they're in. Hold on. So this right here says the time high school students spend on homework by race and parents' income. So Obviously, low income people spend less time, their children spend less time studying. And obviously, when you go to, and that's around just an hour. But look at this, black people is roughly around 30 some odd minutes, 32 minutes, whereas their Hispanic counterparts are outworking them. They're around 50, 50 some odd, 52 minutes, maybe. And I'd say whites are roughly around 58, 59, say 50, 55, somewhere in there, 55 minutes. And Asians are at almost 2 hours roughly, give or take 10 minutes. So an hour and 50 minutes. So Asians pretty much damn near do one for every hour we spend, they spend four. And this is one of the biggest things. I'm sorry. Yeah, for every hour we spend, they spend four. Yep. This is one of the biggest issues that we face. And so the black, me just doing this video about the black report card. Sometimes I come in here and I do stuff like this to try to just jar and shake up these ideals that we have about racial inequality and the racial wealth gap and stuff like that. It's not all just attributed. It can't all just be attributed to racism. It's also self-inflicted by choices that we make as African Americans, namely our majors. Going to college is actually an albatross around a lot of black people's necks because they don't choose the right major. They come out and they're making low income jobs, but they want it to go into something they like. I've heard many sisters say, I don't like computers. I don't want to just sit in a cubicle all day. I like kids. I love working with kids. So let me go be an early childhood elementary school major, and go out here and try to teach at some school and hope and pray that this allows me the opportunity to be able to, matriculate up the ladder and be successful. No, you're looking at $39,000 a year. That's what you're looking at. That was 2016. That was 4 years ago. You might be over 40 by now. You know what I'm saying? That's not a lot of money, man. And if you're talking about paying student loans, actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. You damn near are living at poverty when you make it. I mean, I'm not saying 40,000 is poverty, but you literally there's not much difference between a $20 an hour call center person that works and helps people with help desk that had a GED and a college educated school teacher who makes $40,000 dealing with kids every day. Same thing. I don't see what the big deal is. You see what I'm saying? And so for black people, and that's why when I've been on a couple of hangouts with O'Shea, and I remember some of the brothers was on there talking about the importance of a college degree, and over your lifetime, your earnings will be this and be that. Yes, for white people, if you take whites, Asians, and everybody else and throw them in the mix, the numbers, there's a big difference because they're not afraid. Their numbers are skewed because a lot of them will go into STEM. But if you make up 5% of computer science majors, like we just read, then what's going to happen is, quite frankly, 95% of them are either Asian, white, or you can guarantee Hispanics is probably low. So it's probably just whites and Asians, man. So that's why, when you talk about the black experience in America and you want to try to, chuck everything up to being racism and white supremacy, you really have an uphill battle because you're not really taking into account that we just make dumb choices when it comes to education. This is why we're behind the eight ball. It's not always just that we're behind the eight ball because somebody's picking on us. It's racism and white supremacy. Bullshit. No, it's not. It's not just racism, white supremacy. It's bad choices by black people. I'm telling you what I know, not what I think. And so for us to sit here and blame it all on that is just laziness, to be completely honest with you. I will raise you that most of the time black people don't really take the time to put in to try to well a little bit over that. Hey, that's about 18. It's about $18 because it's technically, if it's 52 weeks and let's say 40 hours, you could do the math, and of course let's just say they get the time off, they get paid. So if you take that into account, right, let's do a calculator. So 52 weeks, let's see, all right, let's say okay, 39,123 divided by 39,000 divided by 52, $750 a week. That's before taxes. And let's multiply that times point. That's low, so let's say point 0.8. $600 a week. So yeah, I mean $750 a week. I mean, if you take $750 a week and divide it by 40 hours, $18.75 an hour. That's what school teachers make. You know what I'm saying? $18.75. So they don't even make a school teacher doesn't even make $20 an hour. They don't. And that's the median. That wasn't like starting. That's the median. Let me go back to it. Let me see what it said. Uh, yep. One of the lowest. Let me put it in here. It's 38,000 actually. It's 38. It's not 39. So they don't even make 13. They don't even make that. But let me go ahead and put it in here. So it's 38,000. Let me put this right here. That should go through. This is what they said. One of the lowest paying majors common among African Americans with a bachelor's degree is early childhood education. Guys, guess what 70% of our PhDs are in? This same discipline. So now you're actually getting more concise and keen as to you got to examine shit, slice it, dice it, understand data. Don't. And I'm not trying to say like I'm some freaking genius about this. This is easy information most of us can find. I'm just saying that this just goes to show you what. So I think this hinders us. I think this is why we'll call stuff racism a lot of times because well I can't get a job because of racism. It's not that you can't get a job because of racism. I just showed you. You spend 30 minutes a night doing homework. You don't like math. You go to college and you shy away from majors that make you have to bust your ass and work and put in 2 and 3 hours because you're not used to doing 2 hours a night of homework, right? This is why you go and you change your major your freshman year. You get out of the tough shit and you go into the easy stuff. You get away from computer science because that has a lot of math in it and you go into the easy stuff. You get away from some of y'all don't even go into business because of business statistics and accounting. You running from that, right? And then you wind up in something that you really probably think, okay, I can get a job. And usually you'll wind up working somewhere and you won't really be happy because you'll be working somewhere that doesn't have anything to do with your degree. That's usually what happens. That is usually what happens, man. And so I've seen this 1,000 times. I got a lot of people I went to college with. That's their story. That was their story. They went and they tried their best to get into certain industries, certain fields, and they couldn't because they didn't like the math and they run from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that black people are oppressed by not getting jobs because motherfuckers just don't want to give black people jobs. It's not that. Now, you racist. Yeah, I mean, yeah, some racist people don't want to give you a job. I'm not gonna say you're never gonna run into that. But I think that probably 85% of the time, if you go out and you have the goods and you know what you're talking about in IT, you're gonna get a job. And if you're not getting a job in IT, usually not take it from me. I'm one of the damn most rough round the edges, blue collar, black country ass brothers you want to meet. If I could walk my ass up in there into these corporate environments and talk to these white folks and get job offers and make 140, 100 and some thousand a year, I know damn well you guys can do it too. The point is that we are not equipped and ready to do it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, more blacks need to get into IT, but see, the thing is, a lot of these universities have not separated IT from math yet. So it's still, I mean, a lot of us gonna have to do it, but you're gonna have to teach those kids math from a young age. Otherwise, they're not gonna be able to do it. They're not gonna be able to go to these colleges and universities and jump into IT. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I feel. That's what I feel. If you know what you're talking about, you will get a job. Yeah, I feel the exact same way. I don't think a lot of people really take that into account, though. I don't. I think it's not. And look, I'm not saying there aren't racist white people in IT. There are, but what I'm saying is, if you're competent, go get the juice for me. I'll pour it in there for you. A lot of people are competent. If you're competent and you know what you're doing, it's gonna be hard to hold you back. If you know how to talk to a database and know how to make that damn database do what you want it to do, and you are competent enough to speak on it and know how to talk about it, you, it's hard to stop you. It just is. If you know how to go and wire up a network, which I'm not a big networking fan, but let's say you do, you're going to at least be able to make $45,000 at least. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do it because that's where they start you at in that. What I do, they'll start you at about 65, 70. So you starting at 70,000, and I'm not tripping about um or knocking that. I'm just saying, like, The median household income, upper income, is 120,000. Upper middle class income is 120,000. You know what I'm saying? So you need to really know what you're talking about, man. And the thing is, I think that's the problem. We've gotten away from preaching excellence in our people. I think that's the real truth, man. I think black people have gotten away from excellence. We talk more so about oppression than we talk about excellence and requiring, you know, lockjaw will and desire to want to go out here and get what it is you want out of life. You want something, you got to go take it. And if you're not willing to do that, um, it is what it is. Your friend is lucky. I'm gonna be straight up with you, Superman. I know plenty of black folks that got CCNAs that then came to me and called me on the phone and they making $20 an hour. Telling you what I know. So if you got somebody with just a CCNA network associate making 85, that's a rarity. That's a rarity. I don't know what he must have interviewed well. Telling you what I know. Because if that's the case, then most of these black people that go to these community colleges and get these CCNAs should be getting jobs making 80,000. That's not the norm. That's not. You know what I'm saying? I know dudes with 10 years experience still ain't making 85. You know what I'm saying? Where's the juice? Go get the juice for me. So, okay, but yeah, you have that rare situation. I know somebody that got certified in Salesforce and made $130,000 first job. Okay, you want this one? Okay, okay. Take the lid. Take the lid. So that's the thing, man. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna make this a long video. A lot of people don't want to talk about this. This video is not gonna get that many views, but I just want to talk about the inconvenient truths that about the black community. You know what I'm saying? There you go. There are a bunch of inconvenient things that black people don't want to hear. You know what I'm saying? My dad majored in accounting and became a consultant for Deloitte, making 120,000 a year. He studied, worked long hours, and flew out of town Sunday night to make and came home Friday nights. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's how it works. That's how it works, man. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of like I said, man, a lot of black people, um, we got to preach more excellence in our community. I try to do that on my channel. I try to preach black excellence and exceptionalism on my channel. Be the best at something. Master it. Guys, let me tell y'all something. Right now, I just sent the white boy $400. His ass was at my house wiring for about 2 hours. He fixed some stuff on my house because we did the inspection. They want me to fix some stuff. Then we got he gonna come back. I'm gonna pay him another 900 Saturday. Then I gotta pay an electrician. I paid an HVAC guy $3,800 to put my HVAC unit in. Then I paid him another $200. He dropped my hot water heater in there and wired it up, and it took him every bit of about 45 minutes. Then so it look, man, be good at something, master it, and be the best you can be, man. That's real. Don't try to do something else. Zero, if you were 25, would you get into IT? Yeah, yeah. If I was 25, I'm not saying this because it's my class. I would take my class for 400 fucking dollars. I would do everything subs I'm telling you to do. I would get my resume together and I would take my ass out there and get a job. I would take my ass out there and get a job. I might interview 5 or 6 times. I might interview 10 times and fuck up. But I would keep doing and do everything, which is what I tell my students to do. This is by far the lowest barrier of entry you're gonna find to 6 figures in this damn country that I know outside of drugs or something. May I don't know. Maybe you could if you drove trucks or something, but I meet a lot of drug people driving trucks making 30,000. So it ain't always that easy to get up over 100,000. But the lowest barrier of entry I see right now is my class that I see. Take my class, do what I tell you. Is it gonna work for everybody? No, because everybody doesn't have the intestinal fortitude. But if you was 25 and you serious about trying to be, what time? You want to say, okay, I'm gonna come in now. What's this? June? Okay, it's June. He's starting the class. Okay, by October, I want to be out there working, making $45. Damn it, you come holler at me. That's real. That's real, man. That's how I would do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. So I'm not just saying it because it's my class. I'm saying this because it just makes economical sense. I spoke with a brother yesterday. He was asking me what he should do. I told him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't listen, but that's what I would do. Ryaz, you talked about how many black youth need a social worker. Huh? Wait a minute. What? When did I say black youth need a social worker? When did I ever say that? When did you know what, brother? Just because you said that, I'm gonna invite you on my channel. I want to hear this one. I want to hear it. When did I ever say you need a social worker? I said black people need to invest in their communities. I said that, and I said professional black people. And if you go on this article, the sister just alluded to Kenya, that sister just said that, those you can be a businessman or businesswoman and invest in your community in other ways. But I can't remember one time, or give me the timestamp when I said you need a social worker. More of us need to go into social work. And I'm contradicting myself. No, brother, I think you didn't comprehend what you listened to. Hey, you know I love you like a play cousin, bro. You good people. Click the link. Come on in. I want to hear you voice your opinion as to why I said what that, because I never said that. Let's see. What you got? Okay, brother. There we go. Now tell me, when did I say that, brother?
You're talking about the riots and how it wasn't a social worker, but basically that a lot of youth need somebody to talk to about the issues at home, whether it be a non-existent father, things of that nature. And it's basically that comes down to like social work or the liberal arts.
No, it doesn't.
So break it down to me then.
Okay, so the way that works is you go brothers that are professional, brothers that have good jobs. And I've made videos like this about. I had a video called "F Your Descendants," where I was just talking about how a lot of these brothers in this space tend to tell black men that it's either you sacrifice your life, marry Boom Quisha, be the stepdad, and sacrifice, or fuck the community. And I said, no, you can invest in your community because a lot of black boys don't have people investing in them. They don't have the infrastructure that a lot of black women have, right? So what I'm saying is, be that computer science major, be that electrical engineer, but volunteer and invest. If I see a young boy, a young brother that I can help invest in, I will do that. That doesn't mean I'm gonna go be a damn social worker making $30,000 a year. That doesn't.
I'm with you.
Those two aren't synonymous. I think you kind of added to what I said. I never once said social worker.
I get what you're saying in terms of going back, but with a lot of youth out there now, they're at a point. They're youth that are beyond the fact of having like a mentor and need somebody who can offer professional help. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they are not as much as we have now, but there's going to be a need for those kind of people in the workforce or in our
Well, I mean,
communities.
if that's the case, then all these social work majors that's coming out of college right now, why aren't they making a difference? Because there's a lot of black people with those degrees you're talking about, and they get the jobs working for a lot of these municipalities, these different counties. And what happens? They get these jobs, and these kids still fall by the wayside because we don't need a social worker. Let me tell you something. You want to be an example to a kid? Pull up in a $40,000 car, or at least a nice car, Mercedes. Doesn't have to be 40,000. Pull up in a nice car, have on nice clothes, nice cologne, smell good, and then show him and tell him what you do, and watch his eyes light up. That will be more of an influence to a kid than a social worker any day. He'll remember that person. I remember a guy named Daryl, right? This guy, my brother worked with this guy at Oracle, right? I was like 18 years old, just getting out of college, high school, going to college. And my brother said, yeah, man, one of my coworkers just made $100,000 on the house, right? I was like, really? So every once in a while, I would ask him what the guy's doing. My brother kept doing Oracle, right? And so the guy got hired by Oracle and quit maybe 6 months afterwards because he had made like $400,000 off of like 2 or 3 houses he was doing. So I was all excited, like, man, I want to meet this guy. So about 4 years later, I'm at Tuskegee, and I go to Atlanta, and I meet this guy over by Grant Park near downtown, and he's flipping a house. He's in some t-shirt and short. I remember what he had on. I remember what type of car he was driving. I remember everything because this here was a black man who took his own destiny in his own hands and was making his dreams come true. That spoke more to me than my high school counselor could ever speak to me. So it doesn't necessarily, you don't necessarily have to go and sacrifice money and income to invest in your youth. I can invest in people. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm investing in people every night when I teach my class. And I try to, when I share my YouTube channel, I show you, hey man, I'm doing this house, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You could do whatever, but what we don't need is more black people going to school, incurring hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt, getting out with worthless degrees, and getting $25,000 a year jobs as social workers, thinking they're making a difference, which is what that article just said.
So with what you're saying, do you think so? Does that play into the fact of how a lot of black youth are misdiagnosed and how we have a lot of education that doesn't really fit into our communities, to where they're not really doing research, or is research too generalized?
Please,
you know what I'm saying?
Expound on that. What you mean?
So going what you're saying, I'm thinking back to how there are a lot of black kids who claim to be ADHD or have this issue, that issue. So because so many youth are misdiagnosed with what's going on in their mind, they get pushed into a system where you might need a social worker. Or you have a lot of youth who, based on what the textbook says, they need a social worker or some kind of like counselor, but it's not really an issue. But because a lot of scholars don't really study the black community like they should, so they give solutions that don't really solve the problem.
Okay,
so it seems like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, hold on. I hear you. So the diagnosis rates. Let's look at it. It says diagnosis rates have increased over time based on parent report data from the National Survey of Children in 2011 to 2013. The percentage of youths from age 4 to 17 diagnosed with ADHD have increased significantly, 7 to 10% overall, and from 5 to 9.6 in non-Hispanic black children. So we're talking about 5 to 9%. So that would leave about 95 to down up to like 91% of black children that aren't diagnosed with that. Now, I'm not trying to say to hell with the kids that's diagnosed with it, but I'm just saying that's where we are. These are the numbers that we're talking about, 10%, which is bad, which we can probably fix. But one of the few ways I would fix that, number one, what happens with black youths when we take them to school, right? So, for example, Democrats don't want black people love Democrats. They finna vote for Joe Biden, whatever, right? And they're gonna hope he gets in. Joe Biden gets in. The Democrat Union, the National Education Association, is gonna make sure that your kids are locked in failing schools. They're not gonna be able to leave and go to a better performing school. Let's say an African-centered school in the middle of Atlanta, Imhotep Academy, or they can give you a voucher. You can go to a private school. You can go to any school you want to. But what happens? Those kids get locked in these schools with failing with bad, underperforming schools, and I guarantee you, the overwhelming majority of that 9.1% that gets locked in are at failing schools. That probably, and out of that, some of them really are ADHD. But for the most part, we're talking a fraction of a percent. And besides, back when I was little, it was just called hyperactive, and you get your ass whooped. You go to the office, you get a pallet, and you'll be straight. But a lot of times you can't touch kids no more. And so you got kids watching stuff all day and doing stuff and eating candy and doing certain things, and they're not being taught. They're hyperactive. So they have to be, teachers used to put their hands on your ass. They can't do that no more. So some of this stuff is just laziness on the part of people that don't want to deal with folks. Kids say, he got ADHD, get his ass out of here. He's too hyperactive. So, I mean, that's out of that 9%, that's probably at least half of it, I think. But that's just me. That's just, me. Yeah, you can get in. You can get in at 50 something. It wouldn't be no big deal at all. Julian, go ahead.
So now let me ask. So now, if you were to break up the black race, right, the demographics, at what percentage would you say should actually pursue those degrees? Because we're going to need some people to actually do those kind of roles, early childhood or certain liberal arts degrees that actually do with the human mind, that kind of thing.
I think comparable to other races, at least at least comparable to other races, at least. Okay. I don't see why. I mean, why do we have to go swing the pendulum and say, okay, don't get into IT? Fuck that. Right now, this is the information age. And we're worried about shit that most black people majoring in that shit and we getting fucked over. So it's not like that's helping black. It doesn't help. I'm just being straight. I hate to say it. It really would help us if more black people got into STEM science not just coding, but in all types of STEM, electrical engineering, different types, different brands of engineering, and you were able to change your economics. Because if you could
Mm.
change that, then a lot of this shit wouldn't exist. I believe that. I believe that economics is probably the root of most of our problems.
Okay.
That's just me.
Now okay, that makes sense. So essentially, let's get on par with the other races, to have that equality there, so we can actually have a say so, and then from there we can work back now to the issue, our own social issues, and how to solve those
I,
that are actually real issues.
agree. For a good example, what if Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos were black?
Mm.
What could they do? What if the founder of the largest, you know, of two of the largest companies on the face of the earth were black? What would that do? Not
I
even
was
that. Let's say PayPal. It doesn't even have to be a big. What if it was PayPal, which that would be the guy that does Tesla? But um, you get what I'm saying? I just think that
yeah,
we don't have one company we can name of note. Now you might have some sizable companies that black people and they probably on their way, but at this juncture, I can't name one good ass company. Okay, maybe the one Robert Smith, he does some funding per se, but I wouldn't call that a tech firm. So
no, that's
we
just
don't even have
finance.
that. We just so
Yeah,
that has been neglected. We're missing that. We don't have when it comes to Wall Street. In any sector you name, you can't name no one of note of that is black that is like an industry leader. I mean, maybe Oprah. Okay, she's an industry leader per se, and Tyler Perry. But these are outside of entertainment, obviously. You can't name anybody, and we barely run that. We don't even run that for real. They just really, Tyler Perry's trying to build his own thing, but most black entertainers are riding on somebody else's ship. I don't think there's anything black people can say today that they technically wholly are the masters of the titans of industry. Not one
yeah,
industry. Not even
yeah. Cause
basketball or football. Shit, we don't. Michael Jordan's the only black owner we got.
yeah, cause what you're saying, if Mark Zuckerberg or Jeff Bezos were black, they probably be work for another a big work for a tech company and be high executives or senior engineers, but they won't be running it like that. They'll just be another employee in the company. As we see a lot of our black heroes in the past, to where a lot of them work for a company, and it wasn't really like they had their own thing going
I mean, when
or
you
a
go when you go
university.
to black enterprises, and I hate to say this, this is gonna really sound real whack, but it's the truth.
Yeah,
When you go to these black conferences, you go to black enterprises, right? And they'll have some black woman sitting up on the panel discussing something. She'll be a high paid employee of some major white firm, Nationwide Insurance, Delta
yeah,
Airlines. She's an employee. She does not run it. She's on a board. Um, that's what you'll see. And these are the people that are speaking at our. They should sit their ass down somewhere. We should have all. It should be all entrepreneurs that are that own their own shit. Otherwise, you don't need to be on the stage. That's the way I look at it. Um, I just think that the entrepreneurial spirit has been beaten out of black people. So I think that is why I'm for reparations. But
mm,
historically, that's what we're missing, man. That fighting spirit. To me, the entrepreneurial spirit is the frontier of martial arts, man. If you're gonna fight, man, this is where you're gonna fight at entrepreneurially. You're not gonna fight. I'm not gonna be out there on the front lines throwing a brick at a damn cop. Fuck that. That's no. To me, the warriors are the businessmen and women that are out here building black businesses, hiring black, and building, and then they under with the mindset or mentality that they're going to service or benefit their own communities. That is what I think a black person should be focused on this day and age, not focused on working for some white company. Now I'll be the first to tell you I want my students to get jobs at white companies and they pay them $150,000 a year. You damn right. But I also tell my students don't ever work at these companies and let that just be your bread and butter. Always have,
mm.
if anything, have a nice sizable nest egg. If you work there for 6 months and they paying you $2,000 a week, shit, when them 6 months over, you need to easily have you at least $15,000 in the bank. And so you could at least say, if it push comes to shove, I'm gonna take me $3,000, go buy me a damn zero turn, get me a trailer. Fuck it, I'm just gonna cut grass. But you got the money. You didn't have to borrow it. You didn't have to save it. You earned it because you have a skill. And when shit, if you can't cut no more grass because it's been raining for 2 months, you can start interviewing and you can get a job and work anywhere in the world. Or you could do both. But at least you have options. Look, guys, I tell my students, I'm not the best developer. Shit, I'm not a good developer. But one thing I am is an opportunist. I follow opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I think black people need to follow opportunity. This following your passion is bullshit. I said it 1,000 times. Don't follow your passion. Follow opportunity. Get your money right, then follow your passion. Hell, I might want to play basketball, but I'm 40-something years old now. Not going to be running my ass up and down no basketball court. Not going to be running my ass up. So why would I want to be a coach? Why would you want to be a coach? Well, I love basketball. Yeah, you love basketball at 17. Are you going to love it at 46? When you making 35,000 riding at 2 in the morning because you took some ungrateful kids down there and they got blew out by 30 and you riding a bus to 2 o'clock in the morning for a stipend of $6,000 a year? Because that's what coaches get.
Yeah.
Why you think I don't coach? So, can you go up to the top? Yeah, but it's political. That's why I don't play. It's just coaching is just as political as playing basketball.
It's even worse sometimes.
I've seen guys. I was one of them. I'm a guy who put up 30 times. We had a scrimmage. I put up 32 points. We had another scrimmage. I put up. This was early in the season at Wallace and Selma. I put up 32, 28, and then he put me on the wrong team, and I only had about 16. We kept arguing, but I was putting in work. Guess what? Coach had his favorites. It is what it is. But I know I put in work, and everybody, well, how he put in work, so what? Everybody, that don't mean, yeah, you played me when he did play me. I put in work, but it's a team of 30 guards on. He had a team full of them but guards. So those types of teams are hard. They real hard to, you know what I'm saying, to dominate like that because it's just somebody might be hot one day, you not. Now what? Now that's his favorite. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like trying to swim upstream as a salmon. You know, we've all heard the analogies of a salmon swimming upstream. So black people, we choose the toughest routes to be successful. How can you show me a social work major show me somebody that said, I want to make a justification for higher education. I want a 6-car garage with a 5,000 square foot house with a basement fully finished, everything, movie theater, sauna, workout equipment, everything. I want all that, and I'm a major. So what major am I going to choose? Which one would you choose? Because I damn sure wouldn't choose social work. If I had to choose a major, if that was my goal to try to obtain what I just told you, that wouldn't be my damn major. I would choose computer engineering, or I would go straight. I would choose medical school. I would go to medical school and be a doctor. Because you got about a 75% chance of hitting it if you're a doctor, of hitting what I just told you comfortably. That's not even struggling. You know what I'm saying?
But with that stuff, this is where I kind of, I know a lot of people went to social work, that kind of stuff. And my issue was with a lot of them was one, like you talked about the study habits. A lot of them weren't studying like they were supposed to, and they're just chilling. Because their classes, they weren't saying they weren't easy, but they weren't as difficult as many other majors. They just had to write papers.
What, you went to school?
Yeah, I went to A&T for computer science.
Which one? Oh, North Carolina?
Yeah, North Carolina.
Okay, so shit. I went to HBCU, who was at all the pool parties? Who was every time they had a party, right? Who was in there on a Wednesday night? You hear the speakers bumping. I'm getting out of practice. The pool was underneath our basketball court. I go down there and that bitch flowed. It was all them psychology majors. It was them damn social work majors. And it was them damn early childhood education majors. Am I lying?
Yeah, a lot of them put in work there.
That's who you saw when you came back to homecoming a couple of years later. They were working at companies they had shit to do with their major, or they was a school teacher somewhere. Starting as a school teacher in Alabama back in 2006 was only about $29,000. I'm telling you what I know. I knew school teachers that had to work at Best Buy part-time to make ends meet as a school teacher. So I just, like I say, I'm telling you what I saw. Now, the people that I know right now, I know 2 brothers I can get you on and do a live with. This brother was brilliant. He was in the computer science department out of New York. That brother got hired by Hewlett Packard. My other dude named Fave, he was an African 4.0 student, never made a B. He made a B on an exam and threw his computer down. He had a laptop just broke it into pieces because he made a B. That's how he was. Fave, I was trying to get into Oracle, and if you're a computer science major, Oracle is not an internship that you get lightly or easy. You know that.
Yeah.
That's damn near like getting an internship with Google. It's just hard, especially in the computer science department. Fave put his damn transcript, he sent them folks his transcript and did the application. I did it for him and wrote the letter, the damn letter. Hey, my name is so-and-so. I would love to be a part of your team. Oh, about 2 weeks later, they offered him the damn internship. They wouldn't even call my ass back. That's just the way it works.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying there is a way that we see. We just don't want to go through the pain of accomplishing. Yeah. And we need more people saying, go through the pain, stop struggling, stop trying to fight what's inside of you, that laziness that you have, that tendency to be lazy. Because right now we get so offended, we think it's racism when somebody say black people are lazy, to where laziness literally doesn't get called out anymore. Because we get offended, we get emotional and start screaming and call people fuckboys when they on panels and shit like that. But when it's all said and done, it's factual. It's the truth. Don't nobody want to hear the truth no more.
Yeah. Because even with that,
the Bible says if a man doesn't work, he shouldn't eat. The Bible says, you know what I'm saying? It talks about poverty creeping in like a thief when you sleeping all day. This is just old school stuff that your grandmama used to tell you. That's all it is.
Yeah. Cause I want to say with that, cause I always ask them, I'm like, okay, why don't you write papers or submit articles or that kind of stuff, or try to start doing research with your professor? And they always even with, oh, my department doesn't have money, or we don't have this and we have that. I'm like, one, now there is money because I see people getting paid in your department, but I don't know what you're doing. Or two, it's like, why don't you just switch the majors then? If you're complaining that your department doesn't have money, then what's it like when you get on the workforce? Then two is like a lot of the, because I took this class, I took grant writing at my school. And she was like, yeah, I don't know why more people don't take these classes. I mean, yeah, they're a little harder, but you can make a lot of money writing grants or doing technical writing and things like that. But a lot of them don't want to take those extra classes where it's going to be more work, but it's actually a real skill that you can sell to a company or do for yourself. Because I believe.
I'm going to tell you something. Go ahead. What you see, once you get in IT and you've been around stuff and you see stuff, then you go back to your community where you're from, you got a different energy about yourself. Because you're aware of more, you know more. It's like the Matrix. Somebody said that a second ago. You know more. So you kind of at this point where there's more to life. So you're not stressing the lights getting cut off, or you're not stressing the car note, or you're paying the cable bill, because you have the skills and talents to make way more than that, to do what it is, to carry yourself throughout life, man. And so I think a lot of black people, we have to raise our minds, our level of expectations for ourselves. Notice I'm talking about ourselves. Fuck the white man. I'm not talking about him. Not that we can't come back, because believe me, I'm gonna swing that pendulum right back at his ass when it's time. But you need your weight up first before you swing a punch. You cannot, you get what I'm saying? This is why I talked about us being the warriors. The educated black man is the warrior. We're the first line of defense for this damn community. I bet people talking about Pookie and Ray Ray. No, we see that. We've seen their work. We see what Pookie and Ray Ray will do. You see what I'm saying? What will the educated brothers, the educated lanes, so to speak? That's what we're missing. But we got brothers telling them to run from their community. Me getting around that brother. I was around that brother I told you about for about 2 hours. We sat and talked. He told me about real estate, what it's like to be in real estate, what it's like to be free. He don't have to punch a clock. And I was like, damn, and that changed my life. I got around it. I couldn't wait to be he was the reason I became a real estate investor. Well, he wasn't the only. That's not. He wasn't. I always wanted to be one when I was a kid, but I never really physically saw one. Like when I say I'm talking about one that didn't have to work, and that's all he did. He was young and black. Man, that shit changed my life, man. Now imagine if me being a developer, if I got a convertible Jag, if I go pull my top, drop my top, go meet this little young buck, put him in the car, ride him around Atlanta with the music blasting. He, then take him and drop him off at his mama house. He like, damn, that was fun, man. Damn, he got a nice car. He make good money. He dressed nice. He got nice clothes. Damn. You know what I'm saying? He work out, whatever. This is how kids think. I'm not saying this is what he would say about me. I'm just saying in general. This is how little boys think. Or little girls. The reason a lot of little girls, black girls, do well a lot of times in corporate America, and I will say that black women have more infrastructure, it's because black women don't have a problem coming and giving back to other young black girls. They don't.
No.
You don't see many black girls saying, fuck every black girl. No, you see black girls saying, let's invest in young black girls, dark skin, kinky hair. How many natural hair, don't be afraid, don't be ashamed of your skin, black women are there out here talking about that shit? Now, how many professional black men are doing the same? It's not even close.
Yeah, man. Sometimes I feel like they're scared to get back. They don't even know how to.
You don't have to sacrifice your life and go marry your baby mama to give back, which is what they'll tell you. Where's the daddy? Where's the baby daddy? Nigga, all right, look. I didn't say go marry him, but getting around, if you got a fly lifestyle, it's a shame for you to just take it and run your ass out to the suburbs with a white woman and don't invest in young kids that can see that shit and it'll change their lives, man. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know, because if I saw a black man or black woman in a fly situation, that changed the way you look at shit, man. I've had kids and I've been around kids and they literally told me, I've actually been around, dude told me he used to look up to me. I never knew. I had a Jeep Wrangler. He told me about this. I don't remember. He said I came and got him one day. This cat was like in the 6th grade. He had never rode in a Jeep Wrangler before. I had the top off. I had the music playing, blasting. We ride. He said, man, he said, man, that changed his life. He said he wanted to be just like me because I put him in my Jeep Wrangler and rode him around town. That's it. Kids, it don't take a lot. Why you think the dope boy gets through so many times? They don't get as much time around these kids as we think they do. That's real. A black man will come around, a drug dealer come around a kid once or twice a week, but you see the nice clothes, the shoes. He's winning. He's winning. So what did he do to win? Because I want to be like that.
Yeah.
The guy that's winning, man. So the black men that are winning need to be on display instead of LeBron James and Future. Tired of that shit. We need those brothers that are winning in business need to be on display. That's who we need to be looking at. And modeling our children need to model themselves after. Robert Smith. Yeah. What type of shit you think Robert Smith do? He probably in private jets, yachts and shit like that. That's who I wouldn't mind having my son and daughter around. I would pay money for my son to spend an hour, an afternoon around Robert Smith. I would pay thousands. Maybe not now because he's 4, but when he's 12 years old, I'm his dad. I'm gonna probably try to be try to be, Lord willing, the biggest influence. But outside of me, if I can have another black billionaire, he's around a black man, even though I may not agree with Robert Smith on everything he says, but if you could have your son or daughter hang around Bob Johnson or Robert Smith for an afternoon, would you pay $2,000 for that? Because I would.
Yeah.
Just to have them sit there and talk to him and ask him. Just sit there. We go sit. The jet can be just sitting. If I just walk in there and sit in the private jet and talk to him for 2 hours, and let him see like this is the way real successful black businessmen. This is what you can accomplish, son. This is what I want for you. I don't want you out here. You ain't no employee. That ain't your mindset. Okay. I'm telling them that early. You ain't no employee. That ain't you. Yeah. Well, how do you know? You should let them choose. See, that's what we fuck up. I don't believe in that type of parenting. I don't believe in letting children know. No, you don't let children decide a damn thing. I'm gonna tell you what to believe. That's what, it is what it is. That's parenting. If not, the television gonna tell your child what to believe. You better tell them what to believe, because I will. I'm gonna tell my son, this is what I want you to believe in. This is who you're gonna worship till you 18 at least. This is what I expect of you. And that's what it is, man. I ain't ashamed of that. I hate to hear people saying we let our children make their own decisions, and that's why you'll wind up with Jaden and Willow Smith. That's what you'll wind up with. You never let your children make their own decisions. I don't believe in that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Cause what you're talking about, That's what's setting a lot of people back because you talked about communism before, and it's like going back to the whole thing of education, that kind of stuff. What I feel a lot of people fall short is that bad teaching they have by the professors in their schools, where okay, you do education, okay, so now you can become a teacher. It's like nah. Why don't you talk about being a consultant so we can work a school system?
I got a niece
Go
that
ahead.
made it 29 on the ACT and wanted to be a doctor.
Mm.
She went and she was at the #1 magnet school in the whole United States. It's like top 5 in the country, okay? Called LAMP, LAMP. And she got around some white teachers and they convinced her to be a damn school teacher. And now she done changed her major. And I called her and she think I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when I call her. She think I'm just, my sister that raised her as a school teacher, she got a doctorate and shit. My sister make like 90 something, but shit, man, my sister been teaching since 95. She's supposed to be making way more than that. That's what my sister makes. So I'm like, shit, man, you can make way more than that. Why you? Well, I like kids. I don't give a man. That's where, and I'm like, this is where you're making a mistake. You think you doing, and what happens? She got around them white teachers and they was telling her how they have a comfortable lifestyle. I'm like, yeah, but your husband is a contractor, right? Your husband owns some big ass company. Each one of the white women, are married with a husband that out earns them. You think you're gonna get in this comfortable teacher lifestyle and get their same level quality of life that they have? It's not gonna be like that. Because you finna start out at $35,000 and work 5-10 years before you get up in your mid-40s. Fuck that. I know plenty of black folks that went into education and quit. Got a degree in childhood education and worked for FedEx. They was in the classroom for 3 years and quit. Them kids ran their ass up out of there. Telling you what I know. Being a teacher is not an easy job. It's a thankless task. And a lot of black people don't need to be running your ass in there. I love my son to death. I'm not built for no classroom. I teach at home in my computer and do that. That's different. But I'm not going to be in no classroom fucking with no little 12 and 14-year-olds that think they're grown. Because I've been took the shit out of one of those kids and then I'm going to jail. See, that's how it works.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. 'Cause that's the if you go into it like you're saying to get bad information, and nobody's telling them like, why don't you write your own curriculum? Because that's what a lot of people doing right now, writing their own curriculums to sell to parents so they can make money, and a lot of people making bank but like it's kind of like if you want to go on that route, you can't go the route they're telling you because they're gonna lie to you and actually fool that. So there's ways you can make money, but people don't want to have an entrepreneurial mindset to take for the extra effort or start doing coaching or things of that nature. They want to the easy route that's laid out for them, but that's where they get stuck.
Yeah. Yep. That's it, man. I've been in IT 10 years. I want to get out of IT because that's not who I am. But I thank God for it every day. I do. Um, but I mean, a lot of black people don't really think. That's why I did this Black People's Report card, because I just wanted people to see. I want you to see where you are. This is why you fall behind. And you'll say there's a racial wealth gap, racial income inequality, and all that shit. You'll talk about it. Why is it? Is it racism, which is what the intellectually lazy answer would be? It's racism. They just don't want to. They want to hold us back. If you a motherfucker that understands COBOL and all these different coding languages, and you understand all this shit, and you go in a computer, and you working in a company, and they paying you 40,000, and the white dude sitting right next to you making 95, something's wrong. Because I guarantee you, your phone will ring off the hook if you got them. Put your resume out. I know because I just did it for my homeboy last week. He put his resume out, his phone rung off the hook. You know what I'm saying? 10 years in networking. He got 10 years in networking though. You know what I'm saying? Which I don't even like networking. I think networking is the lowest paid fruit on out of all of them. But not that you can't make money, because he make some money, but he got 10 years though. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. I'm not a big fan of cybersecurity. I know some people on the internet do cybersecurity. I'm not a big fan of it. I think I've seen people. I talked to guys. I've talked to over 1,000 people that want to get it, that have even gotten in IT, got IT degrees, got certifications, got their MBAs. People call me 2 and 3 times a day trying to ask me about my class, and I'm telling you right now, I've seen a lot of people with cybersecurity degrees that can't get these jobs, and you can't come on the internet and listen to people who've been doing this shit since they was 12 years old and getting out of college, getting jobs fresh out of college. Those guys aren't really probably going to be comfortable. Those guys aren't going to be comparable to someone. Those guys aren't going to be comparable to someone who's just, just getting in off the street cold turkey. You about 28, 30, 35. You're trying to get in. You don't have any experience. You just want to get the certification. You could get a job, but it's probably going to be around $40,000. Now, can you jump up to 170? Yeah, you probably could, but shit. How many certifications are you going to have to get? How many years are you going to have to put in? I say to hell with that. Come holler at me. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I know what I know. I don't know everything, but I do know what I know. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think. So kids these days be in the classroom charged up on that woke juice. Yep. I'd hate to have a white history teacher be a white history teacher. Oh man, can you imagine when I'll slice their ass up though? Look, if I was a white history teacher, I would tell the honest to God gospel truth. But I'm black, right? But I just tell the truth. This is what happened. And but some of these, I actually been in debates with history teachers that say black people haven't contributed anything to civilization ever in history. And they teach history. I've actually gotten into debates with white boys. Like I went to a white boy, I was in Mexico City playing basketball back in 04. And this white boy, he was an actual history teacher. And me and him got in a discussion. He didn't know I knew a little history, so he up there talking. He actually said that. Now this is a guy who teaches history. I said you should never be teaching any black children ever, and you're really fucking up white kids. But you really shouldn't teach black kids with that mentality. He says, look, the facts are the facts, and so I started naming off kingdoms he barely knew about. He didn't even know about certain African kingdoms. I said you don't know what they did. You don't even know who Mansa. He didn't even know who Mansa Musa was. This is a white guy who teaches history. But you ask him about the Burgundians, you can ask him about Western civilization, and he'll give it to you dates, times, what the person had for lunch 2 weeks before they died. He could do that. This is a white guy that taught history. See what I'm saying? So it's a dirty game, man. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't worried about that. You got plenty of black people on the internet that will teach you history. You got plenty of people. Some of it is bullshit, but you got some real people like Home Team. Home Team will give you some real history, Home Team history. A couple other channels where people really giving you some real game about some real history, and it's accurate, and it's not just it's giving you the European mindset before racism about Africa, which was Africa is the shit. Read the writings of the Greeks. They loved Africa. They loved Nubians. They looked up to Abyssinia, as they called it. They looked up to us. They looked up to the Nubians, they looked up to the Kush, they looked up to them people. I think it was Herodotus that said that there's no greater people on earth than the Nubians. This is a Greek. And a lot of Greek mythology is actually just revamped African mythology. Truth be told, I'm not on that stolen legacy because I don't believe everything in that book, but I do think they are right about that. As far as some of the stuff the Greeks did do, they did steal a lot of stuff from the architecture and everything. So it's just how that is.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense because the world started around that area. So a lot of stuff probably originated then spread out from other people. Not everything, but there might be a lot of things.
Yeah, I don't need black people to have a high. I think there's a lot of lying going on about our history right now from a lot of these black folks too. Stop lying, man. Black folks didn't invent every damn thing. Some of these dudes are lying, like revamping, remaking history to fit their own narrative of, we're really we're really this and that, but they're keeping us down. Like if we this and that, we would figure out a way to fix it. Like if you're great and you're such, whatever, then you should be able to overcome. That's one of the characteristics. If you Jordan, right? If you Michael Jordan and you playing with a bunch of high school students, right? Because that's how some of these guys talking on the internet. You can have Michael Jordan on the bench, right? Put Michael Jordan in the game, the last 4 minutes of the game, Michael Jordan will run off 30 because he's Michael Jordan. And from that point on, it'll be clear that when Michael Jordan get in the game, we see, so we got to keep him on the bench. He can't even play. And then when we go to practice, I would demolish you so bad in practice that it's beyond a shadow of a doubt and clear that you are the better ball player. So what I preach is black excellence, because if and when you get that chance, you come in that room and you shut their ass down. That's what you do. So that you don't have it shouldn't it want it don't leave it up for a debate, up where it's close. Fuck that. You subdue, you overcome, you subdue, you out compete, you do whatever you got to do to shut down the competition so that it'll never be said that this guy was on your level, he was close to you, he was this, he was that. No. We got in practice, and man, I'm talking about from the moment Coach threw that ball out there to the time he had us run suicides and go home. Man, he dominated. I remember I was playing in Puerto Rico. I never forget this. I was playing in Puerto Rico. This coach put this white boy over me because they had the team before I got there, right? So he was starting. So one day he let his ass play the whole game. He didn't even play me, man. He played me like a couple of minutes. I got in, and me being black, they played me dirty. That's how the Hispanic people feel like the black guy's the better player. So they was double teaming. I think I wound up with like 2 or 3 points the whole fucking game. I was mad as hell. They was fouling all, pushing me out of bounds. Ref wasn't saying, I'm running down the court, getting pushed into the bleachers. And the ref didn't say nothing, right? Like literally just forcing me into the bleachers. I'm fighting dudes and pushing back, trying to run up the court. They leaving the white boys open, letting them shoot threes and shit like that. So the next day I was fire mad. I was so mad. Let me tell you something. I got in practice and I said, this motherfucker is not going to get a layup the whole fucking practice. It was personal for me. Let me tell you something. I locked his ass up so bad, he didn't even touch the ball the whole fucking game, the whole practice. He did not touch the ball. If somebody threw him the ball, I'm stealing it. I was on him. I was quick. So if he tried to do something, and he did, he would catch it. Let me tell you that. He caught it. He tried to shoot a 3. Now I cut that shit about 3 or 4 times. I only think he got a shot off. If he did, I'm surprised. I only think I right hand to God, that's what happened. Cupped his shit. That motherfucker left practice like he's about to cry. You know why? Because I wanted him to know and the coach to know I'm the shit. I wanted him to know that you ain't better than me. You might put him in front of me, but I'm the man. So I'm finna lock his ass up for on purpose. He ain't gonna get nothing. It was personal to me. I played that personal, angry defense. I got different types of. I might play you. I'm gonna play good defense, make it a tough shot. Then I got that. I'm gonna try to cup every shot. I'm just quick. I can recover, and I was strong. He wasn't nothing he can do. I was stronger than him, faster and more athletic. Wasn't nothing he can do. Couldn't even put the ball on the floor. He was trying to dribble. I was in his ass. He had to turn. He had to pass the ball. As soon as he got it, he giving it up. Locked his ass up. From that moment on, they knew who I was. From that point, excellence, man. And then, look, I'm old now. I don't even give a shit about basketball no more. It's not why I'm talking about this. I'm just talking about excellence. Be great, man. That's what we need to preach more of. Be the best. You can do it. You can learn the fundamentals of a skill and you can master that skill. It might take you 5 years, but damn it, you can be great at something. And if you're not going to do that, be great at business. Be great at whatever it is you're trying to do. But be great, damn it.
Yeah, because with that, that's where a lot of times our people want to exert their rights and they don't want to eat crap. But a lot of times to get to those high positions, you got to do overtime. You got to be there on the weekends. You got to do more extra. Even though your white coworker might be doing that much, you just got to do it because sometimes that's how a lot of us, and we got to take those efforts to rise up because a lot of times it's not given to us. But then we complain when we have to work the extra step where we feel like we should have to do this because I'm an American or I'm this, I'm that. It's like, nah. If you feel you're oppressed, then you got to work harder because your oppressor is going to put you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't want a soft shoe. We want to stand on the forefront like we white, but you're not.
Yeah. You're not, man. You cannot be average, okay? We do not believe in black mediocrity. That's what we push. We are pushing for excellence. And excellence takes time. It does. Excellence just does not happen through osmosis. It happens through repetition and it happens through Trial and error, man. Fucking up, failing, falling on your face, but not giving up. Keep going over and over and over and over. That is what made Kobe Bryant. That's what made Michael Jordan. Not steroids. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know
Yeah.
where I'm coming from. Damn the steroids. You know what I'm saying? Black folk, we ain't got no steroids. It's either, damn it, it's all about footwork, timing, and hard work. That's all it is. Getting up. What did Kobe say? Kobe said, man, he said, I'll get up at 4. He said, I'll get up at 3. By 6 o'clock, by the time the kids get up and I cook breakfast, I've already gotten a workout in. Says, I'll take the kids to school, come back and get another workout in. By 12 o'clock, you just got your first. By 12, you might have worked out once. I've already worked out twice. He says, then I'll go back in at 3 o'clock, do another workout. After 3 o'clock, I go pick up the kids. He said early, he said like 1. He'll pick the kids up, take them home, spend a little time with them, get back in the gym by 5:30. Then he's back in the gym again at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Goes to bed, forgets his 5 hours of sleep, gets up and does the same exact thing. He says over the course of years, he will be 3 and 4 seasons ahead of other players. And you might be like, well, so what? Just because you put time in the gym don't mean you're going to be good. That's the mentality of the average good basketball player. Just because you put time in the gym does not mean you're going to be good. I'm a living witness that putting time in the gym will make you way better, not pick up, but boring drills. I was a drill fanatic. Drill, drill, drill. The boring shit that you hate to do. That's what makes you a good ball player. That's why Kobe was Kobe and Corey Maggette was Corey Maggette and Stackhouse was Stackhouse and Vince Carter, but that Kobe's up head and shoulders above most of them. And that's why the difference between Tracy McGrady, I know people that know T-Mac. T-Mac was pure talent. He's probably the most talented player we've ever seen. People don't know that. T-Mac was where he was and never worked on his game. He was just straight raw ability. And look at what he could do. He could do anything. He didn't work on his game. He didn't care. And when it came time, it showed. When it came time to really rise up, he couldn't. In all the clutch moments, if you look at his career, his clutch moments of his career, he never came through. It was always something that happened. With Kobe, Kobe had those moments at first when he was a youngin', and then he bust. He said he went when he missed those shots against Utah in the playoffs. He went that night when they got back in the gym and did not sleep and stayed in the gym till the next morning. Shot thousands of jump shots. Shot that same shot thousands of times, over and over and over. Those are the stories of excellence and greatness. That's what it is, man. That's what it is. Damn racism. I look, I know racism is out there, but when you got that type of ability, guys, I'm gonna give you a good example. I watched Breaking Bad, right? And what's the main character from Breaking Bad? I forgot his name. What was the guy that
Walter
died?
White.
Walter. Yeah, Walter. If you look at Walter, man, what kept getting Walter out of trouble was not that he was some killer. It was he was so damn good that when people would want to kill him, they're like, shit, we want to kill him, but we can't because I can't get nobody to make nothing even remotely close to this level of quality that he had. Walter White. Nothing was as good as what he could make. Nobody was as good as he was. And he was brilliant. And so what happened, his understanding of science over time got so keen that when he made that damn crystal meth, no, it's a bad analogy, but the crystal meth was so crazy that it was such a high quality that's what got him over when he beat Gustavo, when he beat the other guy that was the crazy Mexican. It was his quality of stuff. They wanted it. And so they kept him alive. And that would buy him time to be able to get on top. So, your talent and abilities will get you so far, but you have to guess how Walter got like that. He taught science up until his 50s, almost 60 years old. He had been teaching this shit and he understood it thoroughly because he had put the time in. In fact, the friends of him that he wound up saying that they was going to get him money to his son when he got older at the last final season, they all went to college together. And he got at that level of quality because he put the time in, man. He wasn't just born like that. It's like, I've never seen this quality because you've never seen a science teacher come and approach it like a scientist does. And that's what he did. And so he was actually able to build quality stuff. And I know you like, well, that don't make sense when it comes to drugs. I'm not trying to tell you to be the greatest drug dealer. But what I am telling you is Anything we do, what I think will succeed, will help us succeed in America, is picking trades and skills and being the best at them. From electrical, from being an electrician to being a plumber, to being the best framer, the best painter of a car, the best yard. If you cut grass, be the best grass cutter there is. Go above and beyond. Give people more than what they pay for. Right? Show up on time. You know what I'm saying? Lower your prices, but not too low, but be competitive. These are things that's going to, number one, keep you busy. You'll never be broke, and you'll definitely people word of mouth. Why y'all think I charge $400 and I bust my ass? I tell my students the other day, I'm gonna be here, damn it. I'm not gonna leave you. I'm gonna be here. If you show up for class, I'm gonna be here. I'm not going no damn where. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be faithful to y'all. And most times black people ain't used, and you know what? Black people not used to hearing a black man in business or a black person in business telling them that. Why he so faithful to me? Why he believe in me like that? Why is he here for me? Damn it, because I know God is gonna bless me for doing it. And I know that he honors that. It's rules to this, man. If you listen to wealthy people, and I know I've been talking forever, but if you listen to wealthy people, the people that get the most wealthy are people that try to serve the most people. They try to, it's not about the money. It's not about even if I'm gonna charge $250 a month, it's not, I can charge, man, I could charge. Man, you got people making $100,000 from what I teach. I mean, shit, I could charge at least what, $2,000-$3,000. I could teach you in what, 4 months? Which technically I'm only really charging you $1,000. 3 months tops, maybe four at the most. So anywhere from 3 to 4 months is $800. That's it. $600 to $800, and I'm teaching you, and I'm busting my ass. I'm there. I'm there every night. I pride myself on being there for my students. And God, in time, God gonna bless it. I ain't worrying about it. I ain't worried about it, man. I might get blessed in a whole different area, but God gonna bless it. If you show up and you consistent and you give people good service with a smile, you give them great energy, you don't give people an attitude, and you show that you are serious about what you believe in, and you trying to really be a good person in business, people will serve you. Well, people will love that, man. And people will respect you, and word of mouth will carry. You don't have to do shit. People will brag on you. People will say, shout out to Mark. That's one of my students. Man, Mark paid me his $400 and was going through some stuff. And I was calling him, trying to get him a job. He had to give me another dime. I'm not trying to put him in the spot. Brother had to give me another dime. You know what I'm saying? But he still was there. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, I got other students. I just talked to somebody else today. You know what I'm saying? That been paid me their money. They don't owe me another dime. But guess what? They still can call me and talk to me, and I'm gonna treat them like they just gave me $10,000. You know what I'm saying? Because I know that's what word of mouth, man. People love people that go the extra mile, and they not just in it for the money, and they really are trying to see black folks. Man, raise your price. I had so many people telling me that. Raise your price. Raise your price. They don't appreciate it. That's why they quitting like they is. Because they didn't pay that much for it. And they working you to death because your business model, you need to change a bit. And you know what? I raise it a little bit technically, but I don't think that's really what it is, man. I think I could change this business model and serve people and not necessarily have to change, jack the price up to thousands of dollars. Because first of all, I'm cutting off a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Mark. You see what I'm saying? Mark right now on the clock while he's typing that. I know he is. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. So look here, man. Excellence, black excellence is something that I preach on my channel. Damn being mediocre and average. And whatever it is you're gonna do, if you're gonna wash cars, be the best car washer you can be. If you're gonna cut grass, because it's rare. When you find somebody that's really good at something, they're never broke. Money's never a problem for a person that's really good at something. If you can cut hair real good, I know a dude in Montgomery right now, D. We call him D. Every time D cut my head, I look like a whole different person. Every time that bro, he gonna take 45 minutes per haircut. He's not gonna cut you in no 10, 20 minutes. But when I tell you D, the best damn barber I've ever seen, D is the best barber I have ever seen. He makes $150,000 a year cutting hair. That's all he do. And he not even pushing it like that. But he'll charge D charge. You got people. Some people pay D $100 to cut his head. I would pay D $100. He that damn good. Like you like he cut my hair, my line be right, my temp fade, my back. This dude, I'm talking about, he's a technician in the back. The way he kind of edge it up, he's gifted, man. That brother cut your hair. He is the best barber I have ever seen. And black brothers, y'all know what I'm talking about. That barber that is the best barber in your city always got a knot. Tell me he don't. Always got a knot full of money. You know why? Because he know what he doing. You know what I'm saying? That's real, man. Look here, man. I'm about to head out, Dunhams, unless you got something else, man. Dunhams. You got something else, brother? All right, brother, because I'm about to head to the gym, man. I got to meet my trainer, man. Y'all have a good one. God bless y'all, man. Black excellence. That's what we pushing for. That's what we striving for. Y'all be blessed.